Fossil fuels are non-renewable and is getting depleted as the days go by. This causes the whole world to transition to using renewable energy sources to replace the fossil fuels that we use today. As so, the conditions that applies to Indonesia. Even if Indonesia have enough supplies to last, many predicted that the supply will eventually run out by 2030, to the point where Indonesia will have to be forced to switch to renewables. Countries that span the equator receive a bountiful amount of sunlight per day that can be utilized throughout the year. This becomes an advantage that other countries may not have that are in a different geographical location than Indonesia. What is renewable energy? A renewable energy source means energy that is sustainable, something that can't run out or is endless, like the sun. When you hear the term alternative energy, it's usually referring to renewable energy sources too. To replace fossil fuel-based energy, we can integrate renewable energy system which can produce energy on site and substitute for building or houses need. This means to reduce carbon emissions too. For this issue in this video, we will focus only solar photovoltaics.
Humans have been harnessing solar energy for thousands of years in order to grow crops, dry foods, and stay warm as well. Today, the sun's rays are being used in many ways to warm water, heat buildings, and more importantly, to generate electricity. Solar energy is predicted to become the most important source of energy for electricity production worldwide. More locally, Indonesia has shown plenty technical potentials and application for solar energy. As such, it is important to understand the role of solar photovoltaic system and how do they convert to electricity. Before answering the question, let's take a simple step-by-step look at how solar power works in general. Each individual panel is constructed with a layer of multiple silicon cells, a metal frame, and a glass casing contoured by a special film with wiring. The panels are grouped together into an ordered series and usually placed on the rooftop or in a large outdoor spaces. Light from the sun hits directly to the surface on the solar panels layers and create a flow of electrical energy with direct current or called DC. DC current is not used in homes or buildings. Therefore, we need an inverter to change this DC current into an alternating current, or we call it AC. In modern solar system, inverters can be configured as one unit for the entire systems, or as individual microinverters attached behind the panels. Once the solar energy have been converted from DC to AC electricity, it runs through the electrical panel and is distributed within the home, building, facility in order to power appliances. In addition, there are 3 types of solar power system currently available in the market: on-grid, off-grid, and hybrid solar power systems. On-grid solar power system is directly connected to anyone's home, building, and facility. The electrical user allows to get power from both the solar power system and from the utility grid. If the utility grid goes down, your solar system will also shut down until the grid is made available again as to comply with safety regulations. The goal of using on-grid power system is not only to reduce carbon dioxide emissions, but also to reduce the amount of electricity one individual might use from the electricity utility. Moreover, the surplus energy generated from the solar energy system can be sold to the local grid connection and get paid for the same. The next one is off-grid solar power system. This system consists of a solar photovoltaic system with batteries, also known as a standalone power system. It functions by generating electricity from solar panels for powering anyone's home, building, or facilities, and use it to charge a solar battery via a charge controller. Battery system can be installed in a place where no connection is available to the electricity grid, such as in a remote area in outlying islands. Off-grid solar systems must be designed appropriately so that they will generate enough power throughout the year and have enough battery capacity to meet the home's requirements. Furthermore, it has the advantage of storing the energy inside the battery when the solar panel operates at the maximum of its capacity. Hence, it retrieves the stored energy during peak hours when the demand for electricity rates is higher. It also can be used in case of potential grid failure. Lastly, the hybrid alternative is a combination of the previous two grid solar energy systems and displays an electricity supply of the grid, which is able to save power and store the surplus of energy into storage.
2.4 degrees Celsius is a number that deviates far from the Paris Agreement rulebook, in which there is a global warming limit of only 1.5 degrees Celsius. During the COP26 highlighted key recommendations and milestones toward achieving clean energy and net zero emission. All countries are asked to reduce carbon generation from fossil resources, reduce coal use, and switch to renewable energy. This included in Indonesia. Some example that the government has also started implementing cap and trade as one of the efforts to reduce carbon emission. This cap and trade is a trial of carbon emission trading at power plant owned by PLN and IPP. This cap and trade regulation is expected to reduce greenhouse gas emission in Indonesia. Accelerating the mix of renewable energy into the national grid integration will become the priority in the next few years. Through the Paris Agreement, Indonesia shall achieve the target of Indonesia renewable energy mix by 2025, which is 23%. With 4 years remaining to 2025, the figure of 23% requires a full power sprint relay run from all parties, including the community, renewable energy companies, to the government itself. The most reasonable renewable energy is possible via solar energy system, either in the rooftop or in the ground mount installation. With a fast-track installation, mature technology, low maintenance, and continuous supply of resources from direct sunlight in Indonesia, as well as many options for integration. In example, upfront investment or capital expenditures (CapEx), or a zero upfront investment or operation expenditure (OpEx). This renewable energy solution shall become the most attractive option in Indonesia. The Indonesian government, through the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources, is also launching several regulation efforts. For instance, a complete revision of the parallel and capacity charge of solar energy system from 40 hours to 5 hours in industrial area already implemented. Furthermore, a draft regulation by the Indonesian Utility Electricity Company, or PLN, will be set up to accept an offset tariff 100% of the electricity energy produced by rooftop PV solar customer through an export-import kilowatt-hour meters. All these government regulations are applied to speed up the renewable energy target by 2025, and as a result, more and more people are interested in using rooftop solar PV system. The government also made a program called Gerakan Nasional Sejuta Surya Atap, or National Movement of Million Solar Roof. This to push and accelerate rooftop solar panel development in Indonesia, especially for commercial and residential market. There is also a requirement to pursue the trend of net zero building and green building concept, which will require a renewable energy source to achieve those paths. The most possible thing is the integration of solar power system to the building itself. More companies are offering competitive prices and promising impact after installing a solar system. All the stakeholders are synergized to support the solar system to be fastly implemented in Indonesia. With the increasing number of government regulations supporting rooftop solar system and reducing carbon, more and more people are also concerned about the earth, especially concerning the usage of renewable energy source. Last but not least, let's support Gerakan Nasional Sejuta Surya Atap using rooftop solar panel system from your trusted system integrators in your areas.
Why solar energy? Some important facts about solar energy show significant potential in solving the climate change crisis. The sun has enough helium mass to provide the Earth with energy for 5 billion years, and every 15 minutes, the sun emits more energy than the inhabitants of the Earth use in a whole year. Earth receives only 1.5 billion solar energy, but in only a few days, there is warmth and light. Light energy like this can only be produced by burning all the oil, coal, and wood on the planet. The sun represents 99.8% of the total mass of our solar system. Its surface temperature is 6,000 degrees Celsius, and the total energy can melt an ice cube the size of planet Earth in just 30 minutes. Globally, there are 2 billion people without electricity. For this population, it is more economical to install solar panels than to extend the power grid. Business around the world can use solar energy to reduce the risk of volatile and rising fossil fuel prices, lowering or stabilizing operating costs. This is especially true if the government diverts upon emission taxes. In addition, several world governments are intensively offering and mitigating to increase the use of renewable energy sources and to reduce the cost and risk of power outage. Business can strengthen relationship with communities by showing concern for climate-related issues by using clean energy. Governments around the world are concerned about the environment and providing clean air for citizens and future generations. Moreover, it is possible that a shortage of fossil fuel could be a disaster on the global economy. Individuals around the world are concerned about a clean planet for their children and future generations, as well as for economic reasons, as conventional energy sources are depleted and become more expensive. Global warming. Why it matters? Climate change, according to leading international scientists, is a rapidly moving crisis that threatens millions of plants, animals, and the environment or biodiversity collapse. The negative consequences are increased extinction of up to 30% of natural species in the world by 2020, with the number of extinction of 40% of species in the world by 2080. Increased natural disasters such as floods, forest fires, and storms. Higher death rates due to heat waves, floods, and drought. Melting of the polar region, raising sea level by 13 to 20 feet, resulting in the landmass being covered by water. Climate change is caused by the buildup of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gas emissions. In the atmosphere, carbon dioxide is produced by human activities such as industrial processing, where fossil fuels are used as an energy source. Moreover, the destruction of the world forests, which help in removing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, is being depleted at an alarming rate. To tackle climate change, the world community must make dramatic changes to reduce greenhouse gas emission by moving away from traditional energy sources to renewable and environmentally friendly energy sources. Commitment from governments, businesses, and individuals is needed to reverse the harmful effect of fossil energy use. Across the energy and manufacturing world, we are committed to raising awareness about climate change issues and helping the global community to understand the importance of solar energy in reducing carbon emissions. We want to work with society at large in providing efficient, affordable, reliable, and clean energy sources for the benefit of all.
There are many benefits that we can obtain by using solar panels. The cost saving of electrical bills will surely be felt as the investment has returned. And in the future, solar energy is guaranteed to be an affordable source of energy for the common masses. The Indonesian government have supported the transition to renewable energy. There will be many assistance and subsidies that can be received upon using solar energy. And in time, we will no longer be required to receive electrical bills that increases as the years pass. Even in a few countries, people who use solar are able to sell their excess electricity. The usage of solar energy can also be one of the solutions to many of Indonesian citizens that do not have access to electricity. Now let us begin the transition to renewable energy.